Dippy, thank you for being with us on Beyond Limit Stories.
Tell me a little bit about your journey and to what got you here.
I grew up in Dubai. My schooling, my education was from Dubai. 16 years ago, got married, moved to India. I wanted to do something in my career because technically I was starting my career fresh from square one. And more than myself, I wanted to do something for the society. So that was the core belief before I began my career. And then due to a personal experience, I realized there's a gap. So I would keep traveling to Dubai to meet my parents. And movie Avengers was released in Dubai. And that's my dad's favorite genre kind of content. I forced him to go for the movie with me. And I did the translation of the movie throughout. And he understands English, but the dialogue delivery, the accents in the movies are very different from the spoken English. So I ended up translating a lot of the movie, and that was the time when 2G market and mobile application and smartphones were at boom. I'm talking about back in 2012. So we thought of creating a mobile app which can give the freedom to the end users sitting in the theater of choosing their own language. So that's how Extra Language Cinema, Excel Cinema was born. During that time, somebody suggested that can I do something for the visually impaired population of the country by providing audio description, because India does not have assistive listening devices like the West have in the theaters. So a blind person needs audio description to understand the movie just like a sighted person does. And there's no mechanism to deliver these in theaters and make the theaters inclusive. Upon research, I realized that India is home to approximately 7 crore visually impaired, which is a huge number. It's a huge new market segment. If catered to them, it will be massive. So I start, and then my app was anyways ready and launched. It was already in the market. So I brought that feature. And then Sanju was the first movie that we brought in the theaters with audio description. And a visually impaired person residing in any city, any location of India could simply walk inside the theater, simply carry their headphones and their smartphones and enjoy the movie in the accessible format. Since then, there was no looking back.
Dippy, thank you for being with us on Beyond Limit Stories. So we are proud to feature your story today on Beyond Limit Stories because we think your journey is beyond limits and
Can inspire a lot of people, show what, proactiveness and what interest can do. So tell me a little bit about your journey and to what got you here.
So I grew up in Dubai. My schooling, my education was from Dubai. And 16 years ago, got married, moved to India. And India was a very different in terms of the real life problems. It was not more of a cultural shock for me, but I wanted to do something in my career because technically I was starting my career fresh from square one. And more than myself, I wanted to do something for the society. So that was the core belief before I began my career. And then due to a personal experience, I realized there's a gap. So I would keep traveling to Dubai to meet my parents. And movie Avengers was released in Dubai. And that's my dad's favorite genre kind of content. I forced him to go for the movie with me. And I did the translation of the movie throughout. Because
So step back, your father is hearing impaired.
No. So the language was English.
Language, okay.
And he understands English, but the dialogue delivery, the accents in the movies are very different from the spoken English. So I ended up translating a lot of the movie and missed out on a lot of scenes for myself, did not really enjoy, ended up disturbing a lot of people sitting around both of us. And that got me thinking. Then after that I came back to India and I realized that the movie Avengers was available in Hindi in the theaters because the dubbed version was available only in India. So that got me thinking that if somebody has spent money in dubbing, why not make it available and make it accessible globally, because Hindi speaking audience are all over the globe.
Yeah.
And I discussed it with my husband, who's my co-founder in Excel Cinema, Kunal Prasad. And that was a time when 2G market and mobile application and smartphones were at boom. I'm talking about back in 2012.
Yeah.
So we thought of creating a mobile app which can give the freedom to the end user sitting in the theater of choosing their own language.
Okay.
So that's how Extra Language Cinema, Excel Cinema was born. And we launched it with the first movie, which was Allu Arjun's movie, Na Peru Surya, in 2018. And it was dubbed in 3 languages. And pan-India people were using it, inter-city people were using it. And during that time, somebody suggested that can I do something for the visually impaired population of the country by providing audio description, because India does not have assistive listening devices like the West have in the theaters. So a blind person needs audio description to understand the movie just like a sighted person does. And there's no mechanism to deliver these in theaters and make the theaters inclusive. Upon research, I realized that India is home to approximately 7 crore visually impaireds, which is a huge number. It's a huge new market segment. If catered to them, it will be massive. So I start, and then my app was anyways ready and launched. It was already in the market. So I brought that feature, and then Sanju was the first movie that we brought in the theaters with audio description. And a visually impaired person residing in any city, any location of India could simply walk inside the theater, simply carry their headphones and their smartphones and enjoy the movie in the accessible format. Since then, there was no looking back until the pandemic.
Very nice. So this actually started with, I'm just reiterating what you said. Your journey started when you helped your father translate a movie into Hindi. So it first started as a language conversion, and that was Excel Cinema. So you created an app which translated the specified movie in Hindi, and users could just plug into the app while watching the movie
in the theaters.
Oh, yes. That's a very it's a very profound thought, and it has helped thousands upon you're right, like this is a huge segment in marketing that if tapped into it could grow and be massive, but it's overlooked in many ways.
I think the awareness also among the community members lacking. They don't know what is audio description. They don't know what is accessible movies. So that's why as a foundation, when I started with NobaFlix post-pandemic, which is my OTT platform, and it's just not giving them so basically what NobaFlix does is Netflix for blind. Okay. In other words. So they download the application, they buy the subscription plan, and they consume content. So that's how the awareness about accessible content is being spread. My team currently is traveling to blind schools, blind NGOs, blind hostels where they recite in large numbers. We showcase one movie at the premises. They learn what is audio description. They learn about the applications available for them, the platforms. Digital literacy is being spread through these Sugam Cinema Yatras that my team is doing. And then the users are converted and brought to theaters.
So you have Excel Cinema, which works on language conversion, and then you have NobaFlix, which works on helping making it accessible via hearing. Wow, very profound, very impactful work you're doing.
Thank you.
Really hats off to you. So tell me, someone said, Dipti, since you're doing accessibility in terms of language, can you do something for the hearing impaired? Did you know that this was such a large segment of this disclusion? I mean, did you know about the barriers of inclusion did you step into it cold turkey?
No, absolutely not. This was something, again, was overlooked by me also for the longest time, because it was never a part of our curriculum during our education days. In schools and colleges, we were never taught how a blind person functions or how a deaf person can also communicate. Technology today is bridging all the gaps possible, but we were never really these things were never spoken. So for me, because I crossed path when Sanju was the first movie, that I saw so many visually impaired for the first time in theaters. There was no timeline of when will the next movie be hosted on the platform. But when I started noticing that the consumers are not really getting aware, or the end users don't really know that so and so movie is now available to be watched in the theaters with audio description, I should be going to theaters. How do I inform them? What kind of marketing can I do for them? Social media, again, doesn't work for this particular community because a lot of social media is not accessible. And I started visiting blind schools. When I saw the condition that they are living in, when I saw the condition that the way they are functioning, it's like machines. You taught them how to use the washroom from your bed. They will navigate themselves only till there. They will never go right or left. If you try to have small conversation, they are running out of topics to talk about because they are never included in social conversations. So I feel movies and entertainment content really bridges this gap, and they give out to so many subjects to a person with disability to talk about to people who are not a part of the community.
So right now on let's talk Novaflix. How many movies do you currently have on your platform?
More than 500.
Wow. And how many consumers do you have?
About 35,000 users.
That's awesome. And it's pan-India.
Yes.
That's wow. So ladies and gentlemen, we're sitting with the next person coming up with Netflix, and
more content than Netflix, actually.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So audio described content, Netflix has only the Netflix original is more like they make it accessible. And now because of the guidelines of whatever movies are coming in theaters, they need to be accessible too. Our audio description, what is being prepared by Excel Cinema, is getting carried to Netflix as well. But if you combine and in total just see the number of movies with audio description on Netflix, it's way less than Novaflix.
Wow. And how big is your team? A pretty massive team then.
We are about 42 people.
Wow. That's pretty sizable, huh? Wow. And you mentioned you have a foundation as well. So how does that kind of work into what you're doing?
So I needed to make the old movies, which are already available in the public domain, accessible. Because the movies that are coming in the theaters, Excel Cinema is making the accessibility feature for those. But what about people who are not able to make it to theaters on time? How do they consume these movies? Or what about the movies that are already out of the theaters? So Indian cinema has roughly about lakhs of content, which is available in the public domain. Because I feel Bollywood is somewhere in all our blood. It's a part of our DNA.
It is.
So they also deserve to have the accessibility feature for these movies. So I registered as a foundation and I'm doing this for not-for-profit.
Okay, so Novaflix and Excel Cinema, they are apps.
Yes.
Okay, and in your foundation, firstly, what's your foundation called?
No Barrier Foundation.
No Barrier Foundation.
That's why Novaflix.
Yeah, Novaflix, a very nice name. So tell me exactly, like, for example, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, public domain, I want to see it now. Where do I go? How can you help me as an end user?
So download Novaflix, verify yourself as a visually impaired by uploading your disability certificate or UDID card given to you by the Government of India. If not, I have collaborated with 50 odd organizations who are already working for the blind community in India.
Okay.
So you could be a part of, say, National Association of a Blind, of Delhi or Faridabad or Pune or Blind Relief Association or any blind organization that we have collaborated with, you can send a request to them, and if they know you, they give you the approval to consume content. And that basically the step one is verify yourself as a VI. It is not for everyone. It is a restricted platform only for the visually impaired community.
Okay.
So once the verification is done, we have about 15 free movies that you can enjoy.
Okay.
And if you want to watch our premium content, you buy our subscription. And our subscription plan starts with 69 rupees for 1 month, 199 for 6 months, and 349 for 1 year.
Okay, very economical.
And if a user cannot afford these plans also, we don't disappoint them. They can request for sponsorship.
Oh, very nice.
So once the user requests for sponsorship, their name falls in a list of pool of people, and companies can come forward, do their CSR. Companies can come forward and support us with the content that we are making, because this content, what we are making with audio description, also costs a lot of money. Roughly around 1,500 rupees per minute is the cost. So CSR can be a good support here.
Yeah.
Or what I have noticed is a lot of friends are giving birthday gifts to their friends.
Oh, very nice.
They're buying the subscription plan on behalf of a friend and gifting it to them. Or anybody can come on the platform and do the donation.
So your journey here has been about 10 years so far, right? And I think in 10 years, you've come a long way. Can you agree with me?
Yes.
I think so too. So, I mean, I know I've seen you in a couple of events that I was at. You know, and the most recent one I met you at was Park, where you were doing your debut of Shrikant, right? So that was exciting. I know a lot of, visually impaired students were there and really excited to see the movie that you made possible for them to see. So you should actually be very proud of yourself, right? So Dipti, not to take away all the proud moment, but I want to ask you. So you didn't really have much of a thought of inclusion or the barriers within inclusion before stepping in. Now that you're here, what do you see? Like, what barriers do you still see that are really hindering people?
Awareness. Awareness is something that is causing most of the problems in this sector. Like, for example, if I talk about my journey, it's not that the production houses or the content creators are against accessibility. It's just they are not aware. I remember when I started and I would go to production houses that, your new movie is coming, let's make it accessible for the community. These are the numbers. They'll come to theaters. They'll buy the tickets. They'll buy the popcorn and Pepsi. Ultimately, they are putting money in your pocket and going back home. But for them, how does a blind person use smartphone, a touch screen phone?
Yeah.
That's the kind of question that people ask me. How does a blind person, why does a blind person need to come to theaters? These are the comments.
Right.
So, and when I tell them that this is talkback feature, this is how they use their phone, these are the kind of job profiles that some of the visually impaired community members in the country are holding, that's when they're like, oh yeah, okay, we should do this. So it's just a matter of holding on to your patience and explaining it to the world out there that a blind person just does not need content to be translated in Braille. Somewhere our education system has fed this, and which is hardwired in our minds, that if there's a blind person, they need Braille. If you provide them Braille, their problems are solved. But that's not how it works.
No.
You know about the sign language, right? 5 years ago, a Punjabi sign language person could not interact with a Tamil sign language user.
Okay.
Their signs are different.
Right. Naturally. So how's the gap bridged today?
Indian Sign Language was introduced by the government of India. So now every school is teaching Indian Sign Language since last 5 years. but that's just the starting. It will still take a long, long time ahead for everyone to have that one common language, one common sign language where they can communicate with each other.
Yeah. So, since I work in this field as well, the problem I see with sign language is, okay, if the end user even knows, let's say Indian Sign Languages, which is universal, still I may not know it. Like the society at large, most of us don't know sign language. So I'm of the thought that we need to integrate technology into this. मतलब classrooms, instead of at this point teaching Braille, which is kind of also archaic, make it more digital. We went to classrooms that were enhanced, right? And then you have pictures on the wall that were touch, and they could tell you with the pictures. We need to be forward thinking like that. I think to make a real inclusive society, because the more sign language, Braille, that we're still separating, so that's
true.
That's what I feel, being in this space, and trying to navigate and trying to think how things can be more inclusive for everyone. So let's take a short break. Dipti, I want to ask you, so your journey is pretty commendable. What do you think is the most commendable part of your journey? What makes it really beyond limits?
I think I had never planned this for myself, but maybe God had bigger plans, brought me to the right place at the right time, serving the right kind of community. I really enjoy what I do. I love interacting with the end users. So days when I'm feeling very low, or we have those moments where we would just want to shut down the laptop and give up everything because we're frustrated. We are frustrated with people and their thought process. That's the time I start interacting with the users. So I'm wearing multiple hats as well. I am co-founding Excel Cinema. I am the CEO of NovaFlix. I'm also the chief customer experience in charge. So end users, I keep in touch with them. I learn about their experience. I take requests from them. Which movie do you want me to make accessible? Because I really don't know what kind of genre does the community enjoy, or what kind of content do they want to watch. Like I said, there are lakhs and lakhs of content.
Yeah.
So I keep in touch with the users, and when I hear their voice notes and their messages, it is that energy bomb that we need. It just boosts up everything. It makes my day positive. It gives me that extra power to even try and achieve more and do more for them, because whatever I've done till now, it's just bare minimum.
So when you talk about end users, can you give me an idea? I know you've done hundreds of films, which is probably hard to categorize, but are there varying tastes? Do you see one taste in specific that most people are drawn to, one type of movie?
Oh, yes.
What's that?
Their favorite genre is horror.
Oh my God. Why do you think that is? Do you see some kind of correlation?
No, because they're continuously demanding. They need horror content. They want to watch Ramsay Brothers. And actually, if you think of it, without audio description, how does a person with visual disabilities enjoy movies? Either a friend is sitting behind, next to them, or a family member, and they are doing the narration of action scene hai, abhi maardhar chal rahi hai. But professionally, how do we describe? Abhi laat chali, abhi ghusa chala, abhi chaku chala. Every single frame is described.
Wow.
And if it is a horror scene, it's very difficult to describe the scene, right? Like, bhoot aapko kaise dara raha hai? Just to, for the other person in that same moment between the dialogues of the content, it is not very easy for anybody else to describe it to them. So when we do it in a professional manner, they just love it. And hence I feel the more and more demand for horror. And also they really enjoy intimate content. let the episode go viral. I'm breaking this for you.
Yeah. Well, thank you for
Because
that.
this is something, again, their friends, their family are not comfortable.
Yeah, they can't really, yeah, okay.
I can see you're getting uncomfortable.
Yeah, I am.
Let's see if a director has put the visuals on the big screen to show it to everyone. It's a form of art. Let's not look at it with vulgarity, but it is the art form, and that is exactly how we also describe in audio.
Right.
We make sure we keep away from the lines of vulgarity, but we are just describing the art that is visually available for everyone else to see. So why not for them?
Yeah, that's a fair point. How do you get, so your charges are very minimal, but you also said you also provide sponsorships if they're not able to afford the minimum prices that you have. Do you get these sponsorship requests quite often?
Yes, because a lot of them are still acquiring skills, students. A lot of them are not comfortable, who are not financially independent, not a job holder yet, not comfortable asking for this leisure money from their family. So we do have a lot of requests for sponsorship.
So to become an end user, all you really require is a smartphone and your disability certificate. Yeah.
Correct.
So where do you see most of your end users? Is there any specific place in India?
No, they're all over. The other day, a user from Odisha got in touch with me for his movie, and somebody from Patna messaged me about his experience. So they're all over. There's no specific city or a region.
So when you get these messages of maybe questions or appreciation, how does it make you feel?
It's that energy bomb on a low day. And of course, the validation of what I'm doing is
impactful.
Not just impactful, but when we create an app, there's a user's journey that we assumed that, okay, the user is going to, first read the description of the movie, then go to the play button. If the user is 100% blind, they don't need a video. If a user is, say, 60% blind, they need to see the location and the costume, so they need the video. So that's how we planned the whole app for them. But just to validate this, that the way I have planned, that's the same way they are enjoying the app. Mm-hmm. So it's always nice to hear from the users. It's always nice to hear from the users who are actually consuming the app on daily basis and how their journey is going.
Mm-hmm. So let's go to inclusion now. So now that you're in inclusion, you said, based on your experience, your observation, the biggest thing you feel we as a society lack to make things inclusive is awareness. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? How can we promote awareness to make things more inclusive?
I think the recent big step that has been taken by the government of India of the guidelines that are making every movie, it's a mandate that you need to make your movie accessible to the VI community as well as to the HI community. So if all the movies that are releasing in theatre are coming with audio description, closed captions or sign language, the end user also needs to start visiting theatres and not consume pirated content at home. The more often they are visiting theatres, their visibility is more. Mm-hmm. And automatically the other 90% who are persons who are not from the community or people without disabilities, they will start noticing, oh, there is a visually impaired in the theatre with me. How is he watching the movie? Maybe that curiosity or just that awareness, oh yeah, they also exist among us. As of now, it is just the data that is existing. Mm-hmm. That they are, or the community is 2% of India's population. But where do we see them? We need to see them more often. They need to come out of their comfort zone, come to the malls, come to theatres, Let the world know that you exist.
So this step that the government took, well, let me take a step back. You said the government made a mandate that movies need to be HI and VI accessible. Can you tell me what HI and VI stand for?
Visually impaired and hearing impaired.
Okay, so that being said, that government made that mandate. Does that mandate mean that they're taking over your space for the future?
No. So I am the service provider. I create the audio description. Audio description is required by a blind person.
Okay, so they're still going to need their smartphone, still going to need to hook up, right?
No, I didn't get you.
They still need their smartphones.
Yes, they need to just simply go to theaters, buy the movie ticket, carry their smartphone, carry their headphones, and the app syncs with the theater screen. And between of the dialogues of the movie, audio description is played in their ears.
Okay, so, and right now, are you the only provider for this?
Ever since these guidelines have come, there are few other companies that are providing similar experience, but I don't know about the marketing techniques for them because I don't think the community knows about them. But the community definitely knows about Excel Cinema.
Oh my God, अपने आप को शाबाश दे रही है.
I have 60,000 users that have gone to theaters using Excel Cinema. This is the largest number in the world.
That's amazing. What's the number in, do you know the number in other countries?
I don't think more than 500.
Really? So, okay.
Because, see, once the guidelines are here, it's just not a checkbox to be clicked. मूवी बन गई, सेंसर के लिए आ गई, ऑडियो डिस्क्रिप्शन बनाया, ओके फाइल आ गया, टिक कर दो, क्लोज कैप्शंस है, टिक कर दो. क्वालिटी कौन चेक करेगा? If a movie of 2 hours is audio described in 20 minutes, it's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke on the guidelines. It's a joke by the, it's horrible to see this. But this is also happening.
Okay.
So that's why I'm proud to say that Excel Cinema does not compromise on the quality because I know what the end user wants. And if I make a mistake, I know they're there to correct me, that this was not done right. This needs to be. I'll tell you a funny story. So, the movie DDLJ?
Yes.
It's a donkey-year-old movie. We've all been watching it on televisions and here and there.
Right.
When it got launched on Excel Cinema. So I am not really into music and I don't really know about instruments, okay? Neither did my team know. So we described Shah Rukh Khan guitar leke kheton mein baja raha tha.
Okay.
It's not a guitar. I never knew this. When we released the movie and the end users started watching and consuming this content, everybody all over my social media handles, our Facebook handles, on YouTube, everywhere, they started messaging, this is not a guitar, it's a mandolin. You have said it's guitar, but it's not a guitar, it's a mandolin. And then I had to sit in Google search, what the hell is a mandolin? And then I realized, oh, that's the instrument that Shah Rukh Khan is playing there. And I got my team to edit it, change guitar to mandolin. They catch mistakes like these. And it's not easy to fool the community.
So when you feel people catch your mistakes, right? Do you feel it to be constructive criticism or negative criticism?
No, of course it is productive because this was again something silly done from our end, but the impact that it created. They all reached out to me that you need to fix this.
Yeah.
This is wrong.
Right.
And that's where I feel the strength of my companies is that the community stands by me like a family. They know what work I'm doing is genuine. It's not just for business. So I feel that's again a bigger strength that I have, which my probably competitors don't have.
So Dipti, you mentioned you were born and brought up in Dubai, which is outside of India. So I'm assuming that there's a need for this there too. Have you tapped into
Yes.
that market?
The Gulf countries and especially the Arab countries are extremely pro accessibility. But when I researched about the number of blind users reciting in the country are very minimum.
Okay.
It's not like a very large number. So let's see, maybe a good collaboration comes my way. Of course, I'll be happy to make the Arabic movies also accessible. But
So I assume you know Arabic.
yeah, I can read and write.
Okay.
So yeah, we will definitely in near future, but as of now, nothing on the cards.
So it sounds like you've already done your research. So aside from India, where you have a huge under-user market, is there any other country in the world you want to tap into because you feel, that would?
There are, so like now my focus is where is the community reciting in large numbers, which is mainly India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh. So Novaflix currently available only for India,
Yeah.
but near future we'll definitely make it global because there is a demand for it.
Yes. Well, best of luck to you. I have one question. In the movies they say like you said they have closed caption. I don't know, what does that mean?
So closed captions are the text,
Subtitle.
like a subtitle, but subtitle won't tell you the door, somebody was knocking on the door, the knock sound
Okay.
or birds chirping sound.
Right.
They will just tell you the dialogues. I said this, there's subtitle.
Yeah,
You said this, there's subtitles. But
Okay.
So
okay,
that's called
closed
closed
caption is dialogue. What else is mandated by the government?
so government has said that they have ramps in the theaters. So for wheelchair users, the theaters were accessible long ago. But for
Okay, are you recording? Are they accessible?
now that's another joke.
Yeah,
Don't want to say this
that's
in
the
the
thing.
camera.
On paper, that's the argument I always have. On paper, the policies are there. Everyone says, no, it's nicely written. It's all there. But it doesn't matter because the end user doesn't feel it. Right?
No idea the amount of fights that I've had at venues when they create a joke in the name of ramp. Like you just gave maybe this narrow ramp and then you're expecting a wheelchair to pass through. How? And I've actually called the managers and I told them, I said, can you just sit on the chair and call 4 other staff, let them carry your chair inside. Let me see how do you enter the restaurant.
Exactly.
Recording this, okay? No, this was an informal conversation.
I that's the point to make it informal, candid. I think that's a great thing we should have there. It's a joke. It's a joke because it is, Okay, so I won't name names, but how about there's a ramp, but it's blocked by bushes.
Yeah, there are steps to reach the ramp. I've seen that. It's like one step and then the ramp and then another step. I'm like, how? What were you thinking?
It's inaccessible accessibility.
When you see on Google the location and then they say, yeah, we have a ramp. It is accessible. But when you reach there, there are steps to reach the ramp.
Yeah, that's a problem. Whenever we have an event, whatever people say, I always need to go visit the event, like the fashion show, right? I said we need to go there first and see the ramp. It didn't happen, right? Well, there was a problem with the ramp.
They don't even
right? Because
they don't understand. That's the problem.
That's the problem, right? They say, oh yeah, it's a checkbox ramp. We have a slanted thing, but did you actually check the functionality? People like awareness, and they don't have that sense.
Because education is not there. Because they haven't really. Okay, another thing that I've noticed is when it comes to persons without disabilities, if suppose they have to interact with a person with disability, they have this serious face on. They have this very empathetic, very serious face, like we can't crack a joke, we can't laugh in front of them. It's like the conditioning done wrong. That, oh, the moment you see a person with disability, you start feeling sad for them, you start feeling sorry for them. Dude, they're not sorry on themselves. Why are you sorry? Get a life.
So Dipti, how, education you said, right? So how do we correct this? So let's talk about awareness, right? If that is one of the biggest barriers to inclusion, how can we address this?
Make the schools inclusive. The education, the students need to be seated together. I understand the pace will be different for learning. The pace of grasping the knowledge or information that the teacher is trying to give will be different. But at least they should be able to see each other.
Right, okay, now have them be in the same classroom, Hannah. Okay, how can that be done if we're teaching this person Braille, this person this? I agree that there are many different abilities, right? And a teacher needs to cater to them according to their
Needs. Correct.
strengths and their needs and their weaknesses, right? But until we don't put everyone together, there's still gonna be, oh yeah, ऐसे लगता है वो नहीं कर पा रहा है. You know, there's still gonna be different.
But at least let them have their lunch breaks together. Let them have interaction. Let them try and make friends with other people, like with each other, community members and non-community members.
Yeah. So
It's like, you separated persons with disability from the world, and then now you're teaching persons with disability, okay, we give you skills, we give you education, we give you everything. Now go out there in the world and compete. How? How is this going to be possible?
it's not possible. So
Most of the offices, if the mandate of so many people with disabilities, so many people with visual disabilities need to be hired because of the mandate, they get hired, but the managers are not able to allocate them the right task. The colleagues are not able to interact with them.
See, the problem is, again, the mandate is there, checkbox, but there's no follow-up. And it's like the ramp with the stairs. You don't know, no one asks about how can you get this job done? What's gonna, what you need, what's gonna make it easier for you, and talking about jobs, do you see that really in action? Because I feel that's a checkbox also.
See, in jobs also, what are they supposed to interact with each other about? Only about work? So here I see a positive impact of my work. Colleagues are now going out for movies together. Or if, Dhurandhar released for the mainstream, it was such a hype for the world. But Dhurandhar was available with audio description also. So now, even a visually impaired person has its own 2 bits to share about once they watch the movie. Otherwise, what used to happen is, okay, everybody's going for a movie, I'll also go for the movie. Listening to the dialogues, they are creating their own movie in their own head.
Yeah.
It's not the same movie that's being shown by the director. So now, because the movies are the same audio description as well as for the sighted, they're able to interact, they're able to make these small conversations, they're able to have these social inclusions at workplace also. So this is something I've noticed a lot.
So when you were building your not 1, not 2, but 3 organizations, what barriers did you face personally? Because this is a new field for you also. So what barriers, you must have had challenges as a business owner. Can you tell us a little bit about your barriers? Your challenges?
Every direction had challenges for me. So starting with the content creators, the production houses, because they didn't have awareness about the blind community. That was a task in convincing them to make their movies accessible. Once I convinced them, the end users are not aware about audio description or accessible movies. So need to go back to the blind community and explain them that, this is how you watch a movie with audio description. You'll be able to understand everything, and convincing them creation of audio description by my team. There's no course for script writing of audio description. They are not already knowledgeable manpower that I am hiring from certain universities and colleges. It's like I hire them, I train them on how to create audio description, what kind of scripting needs to be done, emotions should not be relayed, only the visual elements need to be relayed, and that's another huge task for us.
Yeah.
To teach them how to do scripting of audio description.
You know, that's true. You don't think about it because it's so natural for us to say, oh, he's crying, you know, than to say it in a stoic voice. So you're not saying yes or no, you know, not to lead them emotionally. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. It's an example of how people they don't think about things that they're not exposed to, right? Very interesting.
And of course, the biggest challenge is the finances.
Of course.
Because creating the apps, creating the softwares, paying everybody's salary, paying the voiceover artist's salary, it's all self-funded mostly.
Wow. You don't get sponsorships or look for funding?
So I have received CSR from friends and family.
Yeah, okay.
And then we were on the Shark Tank season 4 finale episode. So that's where Mr. Jeet Adani supported us.
Okay.
And we launched Ramayan because of his support. Because Ramayan was another series.
Okay, so you created audio description for Ramayan.
Correct.
Oh, very nice.
It's long overdue. Such an old content since the
Yeah.
80s. And that was something hugely demanded by the community.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have received support, but again, not that it's an assurance that every year that same financial support will be available. Or the reason why I charge subscription from the end user is because my vision with NovaFlix is that it needs to be self-sustaining. The users are paying for subscription. That subscription amount needs to be paid to the script writers and the voiceover artists and the app developers as their salary. So we haven't really reached to our break-even point, which is 1 million users. So that's why I said it's still a long journey. 35,000 users, it doesn't excite me because I want to make it self-sustaining.
And 35,000 in NovaFlix, right? But within how many years?
3 years. We launched 3 years.
Yeah, so
it's not even 3 years. 3 years we finish in May.
So, I mean, Diti, that's huge. Within another 5 to 6 years, you're going to definitely break even.
I hope so. Keeping fingers crossed for that.
Well, best of luck to you. I think, you know, this is great work, really impactful work, really helps the community stay synced in, stay you know,
Entertained.
and stay entertained. Yes. So Dipti, thank you for being with us on Building Beyond Limits, and we look forward to the many more end users that you entertain.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.